We're going to get started. Special action meeting of June 13th, 2019 is called to order at 6:58 p.m. 7 p.m. Can I have roll call, please?
Mr. Banta, Dr. Cohen.
Here.
Mrs. Frankel,
Yes.
Ms. Quackenbush.
Here.
Mr. Rosenberg.
Here.
Mr. Santana.
Here.
Mr. Spindell.
Present.
Mrs. Wallace.
Here.
And Mr. Barbarulo.
Here. The New Jersey Open Public Meeting Law was enacted to ensure the right of the public to have advance notice of and to attend the meetings of the public bodies at which any business affecting their interests is discussed or acted upon. In accordance with the provisions of this Act, the Fairlawn Board of Education has caused notice of this meeting to be published by having the date, time, and place thereof distributed to the persons on the approved list, posted in the Board of Education Administrative Office, and sent to the Bergen Record and the Star Ledger. The announcement posting for the special action meeting along with the date, place, and time thereof was distributed on June 11th, 2019. The items to be discussed during closed work session if needed, we will have. Of the special action meeting may include personnel matters, student matters, legal matters, negotiations, and/or grievances, and tactics and techniques utilized in protecting public safety and property. The results of these discussions will be made public as soon as possible. Would you please join me in the flag salute, please? I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, at this time, we're going to open up the meeting and we're going to present the 25-year service awards. Mr. Garcia.
Thank you. Welcome, everyone. This is a great night. It's a great night because we have you, recipients who have worked at Fairlawn for 25 years. Quite an accomplishment. I could only imagine what you've seen in Fairlawn in the last 25 years or a 25-year career that you've had. It's drastically different. It feels like it's drastically different year from year. So, you know, I really tip my hat to you and thank you for your service that you've given us. Our students, our staff, our community is lucky for the service that you have provided us day in and day out. Our community is lucky to have you. It's just, you know, I look at your backgrounds, all of them coming from social studies teachers, the paraprofessionals, the custodians, the science teachers. I mean, it's just the Janine who does everything, I think, I don't know, I mean, and Andy too. I mean, their roles don't stop. I mean, it's really just so impressive, and we really just can't thank you enough. You know, the difference that you make with our students, no matter what role you play, impacts them. From Phil to a Janine to an Andy, it's just unbelievable to see, you know, from the first person you see when you walk into a school to the last person you see to who you interact with day in and day out. Everybody's role is so important and integral to what we do here at Fairlawn, which makes it such a special place. So from the bottom of my heart, I just want to thank you on behalf of the Board of Education. We wanted to thank you. We want to acknowledge you tonight. So with that being said, we have a little token of our appreciation. It's not money, it's not gold, but it's something. And we want to just call you up one by one.
It's not chocolate either.
Albert Barton.
Diamonds?
Yeah, no.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
Congratulations. You want to take a picture, Liz?
Can we do a group afterwards?
Do a
or
group
what?
afterwards?
Yeah.
All right, that works for me.
Okay.
That works for me. Janine, hi. Phil. Phil Berry. Andy Deming.
Yeah, thank you.
Sorry to hear that, Andy. Beth Jacobs.
Thank you so much for everything you do. Thank you.
Michelle Sonia. Werner Gerwald.
Thank you so much for everything you do.
And Maria Boss Riley.
Become
The other recipients, we have Albert Kosfeld, Deborah Asnola, John Shaw, Lai Samard, and Joe Foco could not make it tonight as well. So, give a round of applause. If we can have the recipients come over here so we can take a picture together, that'd be great. Are we holding our gifts? Wherever you want. Stand right there.
Okay, you got everybody? I'm gonna make sure you get everybody in.
Are we in the way?
My girl is.
Say what?
You heard that?
Okay, Ron, could you scooch that way? Yes, and this, Bill, that way. Okay, beautiful. 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3 for
We
safety.
can retire.
Thank you, everyone. Congratulations. We know everybody wants to stay for the board meeting, but you do not have to. Congratulations, everyone.
Good job. Good job.
You're welcome.
I thought
I voted no.
That red thing appears and the music starts going. I'm comfortable. It's on now. It's on now. So I'm gonna shut.
At this time, we're gonna open up the meeting to public comments from the public. Just state your name and sign in, please. Anything on the agenda that's on our agenda tonight? Only on the agenda, we'll come back later on, okay? Anybody else? Any board members have any comments on the agenda items? Emily?
I just want to say thank you to the administration for, on P3C, which is a person who is going to be volunteering in our schools. I realize that it can be a little bit of extra administrative work to have volunteers in our schools, but the value that they bring and the function that that serves for our community is tremendous, and I hope that this person and people before them can blaze that trail and that we can encourage more and more ways to facilitate people becoming, engaging in volunteerism with their students.
Thank you. Mike?
I just want to piggyback on that. I just want to make sure that the people that are coming in to volunteer, first of all, obviously they have to follow all the fingerprinting and everything else, but that they're not taking the place of our paid paraprofessionals, because that would be such a problem with the union.
Mary?
Yes, on page 13, donation of $1,000 from Chartwell to the annual scholarship fund and incentive.
Yes, actually, they were part of their scholarship the other night, scholarship thing, they had handed out a scholarship. But that goes into a general scholarship fund, correct? Thank you, Mary. Anybody else have anything? Logan?
First of all, I would like to thank Mr. Norcia for providing really thorough information on my questions. In regards to E3A, page 4, the other page is finally. I would like to ask if the administration is planning to include in this item part of the recommendations you offer the board during the performance report for the district to address the issues we have at the 2 middle schools in the forest in terms of performance. Training. Would this training cover that?
E3A, you said?
E3A.
This is the multitude of trainings that you'll see throughout this school year. There are a lot of professional development opportunities. There's a lot of people going to mindfulness trainings. So they could sign up. This gives us
But are we going to prioritize?
membership, sorry. We have a membership to this organization, so teachers could pick, but then we have to approve and say, okay, yeah, this is okay. So we don't even know what it is yet for the school year, which
Okay,
ones
so we
they're
don't know
putting out.
if they offer what the district suggested for us as a plan going forward.
The offerings differ from year to year, but they're very varied.
Okay,
They've got
right.
STEAM, they've got math, they've got balanced
There's a
literacy,
lot.
they have classroom management,
Mental health.
special ed, mental health, mindfulness, leadership.
You'll
It's
see
a
them on,
multitude, anywhere between 50 and 100 different offerings.
you'll see them on a monthly basis
Mhm.
on our regular agendas, and you'll be able to pick them out and see which ones they go to.
In terms of P3C, page 7, C is in cat, P3C. I'm echoing Emily's comments. This is very beneficial for the district. I do respectfully disagree with you, Michael. I think we need to take as much help as we can get it. If it's gonna benefit the children, it's great, and if we could save a buck or two for the taxpayers, that's even better.
I just want to clarify.
Yeah, there's a mis-
I just want to clarify, this is not like a full-time paraprofessional position that's taking place of another paraprofessional. This is somebody who retired, who wants to come back and help occasionally
Worked in this district for a long
and
time.
volunteer just here. So this is not, I think we're talking about apples and oranges right now, so I just don't want to go back and forth on that. I just want to clarify, this is somebody out of the goodness of her heart who retired, who wants to just come back every once in a while and work with us.
How many hours?
I don't have that on me right now.
It varies, the hours vary,
I got
so
you.
it can be anything.
I would like to know, I know I requested this, but the information was a little too raw. P3D, page 8, you stated, Mr. Norris, that the principal will assign the duties. Do you have any idea what are the duties that the students will be doing in the summer?
No, not at this point.
So I would not be supporting this unless I know what exactly the kids are gonna be doing
Okay.
in the summer, for summer employment. What is, no, not yet.
Okay, go ahead.
On F1, page 13. Can any organization that is doing business with the district, how to phrase this, is doing business with the district, or let's say no longer does business with the district, or will do business in the district in the future, can just any organization establish a scholarship? And what is the policy that governs that?
They have to propose to the Board of Ed, the type of scholarship, what it's for, the requirements, everything else, but.
We do have a policy.
Do we
Yeah,
have
we have a
policy?
policy, yeah, we have a
Yeah.
policy on it. I'm just saying, but they gotta put a whole
Yes,
proposal.
anybody can donate anything. What they can do is donate money to us, and then we put it into a general fund. So they can't say, we're only giving this to buy this. We have to approve that part of it. But anybody can give us money.
So this money is not going to the general fund, that was a.
Well, it is, it's going to a general scholarship fund.
Okay, so we
So-
have a separate,
Like,
budget item.
Yeah.
for scholarship,
Yes,
Yeah,
and who picks the scholarship winner?
There's a committee.
there's a committee.
There's a committee. Every scholarship is different. Every scholarship has different rubrics, every
Oh, yeah,
scholarship
yeah,
is different, so it's different.
Like,
So who
just-
picks
just-
this-
Just to
who
give
picks
you an
this
example,
scholarship?
just to give you an example, okay? The other night, the class of 2017 put a scholarship in, 2000, actually it was pretty wild, 16, 17, 18, all have scholarship, I think it was $500. They have their own, they put what it is according to our policy, and then they have their own committee, and they pick whoever the winner was. And there's a general list these kids all fill out, there's a general scholarship thing, because the community, the other night gave out over $110,000 in scholarships to our students, just the community. Oh, it was 180? I thought he said it was 110.
In
Yeah,
F2A,
it's
page
not-
13, what is that contract actually for?
That's where
This is so we can accept credit card payments for the community school programs.
That's it, thank you.
Okay, Mary?
Yes, I just wanted to add a little more to the fact that Marlene Matola was a paraprofessional in this school district for practically, I don't even know how many years, her whole career.
Sure.
She's just an outstanding paraprofessional, and, you know, to have her want to come in and help out on a volunteer basis, and certainly not interfere with anybody other than helping our other paras, is really a wonderful gift that she is making to the school district, because she is, when there were only 5 paraprofessionals in Fairlawn, Marlene was one of those.
Thank you, Mary. Cindy?
I just wanted to, as far as the volunteer of our students in high school for the summer, I know in the past, there's a lot of stuff that goes on during the summer, especially with purchase orders and books and materials and supplies and whatnot. I know in the past they've helped to unpack, organize them by department, taking the workload off of administration, so I think that it's a great idea.
They also paint.
Yeah, I mean, that's just one of the things.
Yeah, they
Once
paint
the summer
solid.
starts, they'll prioritize their list.
Mike?
I want to say a couple things. First of all, we have volunteers in our building all the time, reading to our kids, volunteer reading, parents that come in, volunteer read, and stuff like that. And as far as Marlene Matola, that is great what she's doing. But again, employees are employees, volunteers are volunteers. Because as soon as you start taking volunteers as employees, besides getting unfair labor practices, or being anti the union, the contract, I said the wrong word, sorry. Besides being anti the union contract, we don't have as much control over them, and if something happens to the students while they're in there, it's opening itself up. I love volunteers. I've been a volunteer all my life, and it's a great thing. As far as the summer employment, I think that's a great thing that we do, is we hire some of our Fairlawn High School students to make money over the summer and to help us do some of the odds and ends that need to be done in the summer in order to get the schools ready for the fall. Let me just make sure I'm not missing anything. Correct me if I'm wrong, this Chartwell's has a scholarship. Is this scholarship $1,000 for next year, or was this to pay this year's scholarship?
No, this is for this year.
It was for this year's scholarship that was just handed out the other night. I'm sure, or I would assume, that Chartwell's is not going to give a scholarship next year to our students. But this Chartwell scholarship was made for a student that was going to be involved in culinary arts and go into the food industry. And there are many, you know, I wrote it the other night, but that is my absolute favorite thing, favorite program I go to on the Board of Education. It is, besides graduation, I'm sorry. Second to graduation, it's the best program I go to. When I see over 100,000, whether it was 108 or 180, $1,000 worth of community scholarship, people, organizations from our community coming in and giving our students $500, $1,000. And it is just the most, it is magnificent. Whatever the little token is, they're showing involvement in our schools. And then, and it's wonderful, especially when the Garden State grandmas come up every year, that's like the best. And then when I hear that over $3 million worth of scholarships that we know of were handed out to our graduating class of 2019, that is just amazing. It shows what our teachers are doing, it shows what our schools doing, and so all the scholarships you can, because it is a nice thing. And the only other thing I wanted to say, give me 1 second. I'm good. I'm good, thank you.
Very quick, I mean this respectfully, is this, was this like a, I don't know, a administrative decision to put this scholarship item after the fact? Why couldn't we put it before the award? What was the reason?
The information was received late,
Okay.
so it's something we have been doing annually, probably for 18 years or however long Chartwell's has been here for.
Okay.
But we got that information late, and we did not get it on the May meeting.
I'm very appreciative and very thankful for the information you provided about that great paraprofessional that has served the district for so many years. We're so blessed and thankful for her. But what will prevent, let's say, a principal or a teacher or a supervisor to retire and then put him to become a volunteer? Do we have a policy that oversees that? Like, I'm just afraid that what if someone else in a position like director, supervisor wants to volunteer?
Let me go.
I just wanna have an idea.
But we're not, that's not what the whole thing is. We're not gonna allow a principal to retire. First of all, I don't think when they retire, they wanna come back and volunteer. At that point, I think they're ready. Like Joe Falco on July 1st will be in San Antonio. His house is all ready to go. But no, we don't have a policy, but it's not something, this is, again, this is.
We do have
We do have a policy, I apologize, you're right. But this is not something that is gonna happen every year. You're gonna see 20 volunteers coming in and stuff like that. This is just something that, again, Mrs. Matola has worked in this district probably 30+ years. I know.
Oh, no, I'm not talking about her.
So she did.
Can I make a
But-
motion?
Yes, you can, I'll let Wilkins finish and then I will let you go. Are you done?
I just wanna give the other side of the coin. You know, what will prevent someone else in a higher position from becoming a volunteer too? And what potential,
They would have to apply.
what potential issues may arise in the workplace as a result of
They
that?
would have to apply to the board. They would have to apply, what?
We can talk for hours on
Yeah.
Yeah,
potential
I'd like
issues.
to
I'm not
make a
asking for
motion,
hours.
if we wanna discuss this further, I'd like to table to discuss it in a work session, because I think I'd be happy to have this conversation, but I don't think this is the setting that's appropriate to
No,
have
we
it,
don't
so I'd
need
like
to
to make a
continue.
motion.
If the personnel committee can look at it.
I will have the personnel committee take a look.
It's a policy.
Doesn't have to watch how you say it, that's all.
Policy.
I will, you know what, I'll take a look at the policy and then I'll decide where I wanna set it. How's that, okay? As the president, that's my decision. Anybody else have anything else to say on the agenda? Okay, we're gonna move on to the action items. All right, so we got G1, approval of policies. This is the second reading of the policies and adoption. I need a motion for G1.
So moved.
Second.
Mary and Mark. Any questions on the motion? All in favor? Aye. Oh, I'm sorry, my bad. I'm sorry, I mixed my presidencies, I'm putting in my other one. I apologize. Roll call, please.
Mr. Banta?
Yes.
Dr. Cohen?
Yes.
Mrs. Franco?
Yes.
Ms. Quackenbush?
Yes.
Mr. Rosenberg?
Yes.
Mr. Santana?
Yes.
Mr. Spindell?
Yes.
Mrs. Wallace?
Yes.
Mr. Barbarulo?
Yes. I'm sorry, I have 2 weeks left as the president of my state association, I'm still in that mode. Okay. E1, attendance at conferences, conventions, and workshops. E2, approval of bedside home instruction. E3, membership dues. E4, other business. I need a motion for
So moved.
E1.
Second.
Get it? Any questions on the motion? Roll call.
Mr. Banta?
Yes.
Dr. Cohen?
Yes.
Mrs. Franco?
Yes.
Ms. Quackenbush?
Yes.
Mr. Rosenberg?
Yes.
Mr. Santana?
Yes.
Mr. Spindell?
Yes.
Mrs. Wallace?
Yes.
Mr. Barbarillo?
Yes. P1, approval of appointments. P2, approval of resignations. A, no items. B, not certificated. P3, approval of leave of absences. A, no items. B, no items. C, to volunteer. Yes, it does all the way down there. So, then you got D, summer approval, summer employment. You got P4, change of personnel assignments. And no items on P5. P6, other business, reappointment of personnel for the 2019-2020 school year, which is A, reappointment of certificated teaching and educational services, reappointment of administrative and supervisory personnel, custodial, maintenance, grounds, and bus driver, and part, well, I'm just, I want to, because I was asked to. Reappointment of part-time, non-certificated personnel, secretarial, clerical, and non-bargaining. Not certificated day-to-day and certificated day-to-day. I need a motion for
So
P1
moved.
to 6. Mary Louise. Any questions on the motion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Banta?
Yes.
Dr. Cohen?
Yes.
Mrs. Franco? Ms. Quackenbush?
Yes.
Mr. Rosenberg?
Yes.
Mr. Santana?
Yes on everything, no on P3D.
E3D like dog?
D like dog.
Okay. Mr. Spindell?
Yes.
Mrs. Wallace?
Yes.
Mr. Barbarillo?
Yes. Okay, F1, approval of gifts and grants. F2, approval of contracts and consortiums. Motion for F1
Yes.
to 2.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Banta?
Yes.
Dr. Cohen?
Yes.
Mrs. Franco?
Yes.
Ms. Quackenbush?
Yes.
Mr. Rosenberg?
Yes.
Mr. Santana?
Yes.
Mr. Spindell?
Yes.
Mrs. Wallace?
Yes.
Mr. Barbarillo?
Yes. Okay, at this time, I'm gonna open up public comments on new business. Now you can speak. Just state your name and, sign in.
Sure. My name is Rita Fivelovich. I wrote this email on May 17, 2019 to the superintendent. As of today, which is June 13th, I've never gotten a response. So I decided that I'm going to read the email, and I would like someone to explain to me why is my email was never answered? If this was not the right question, if I'm not the right person, I should have been told, you know what, email this person, or they should have been forwarded, or something should have been done, not just ignored. I'm a resident of this town, I pay a lot in taxes, and I expect an answer. That's all I ask.
Okay, it was sent out May 13th.
So I'm going to read the email so that it's going to be public. Dear Good afternoon, Superintendent Norcia. My name is Rita Fivelovich, and I'm a resident of Fairlawn. I'm contacting you because I'm hoping if you can please answer some of my questions. In total, how much is the college program for the junior-senior cost for the town resident? In total, number 2. In total, how much does the pre-K program for the children aged 3 and 4 cost to the town resident? Number 3. Is there a curriculum for the pre-K program? If so, where is it available online? Number 4. Is the lottery program for the pre-K explained to the residents clear on a website? If so, can you please state where? Number 5. What programs or opportunities does the high school offer students that are not college-bounded? Number 6. Why does the high school have a copy operator that costs over $20,000 to the taxpayer? Thank you so much in advance for answering my questions. Sincerely, Rita Fivelovich.
Rita, I would like to apologize because as soon as I went into my search, I put Rita and it was in my spam email. So next time, if you don't hear from me right away, please call my office.
I did. I spoke to your secretary.
You spoke to my secretary?
And she said, call the guidance counselor if you want to find out this information. I said, can I ask about the pre-K? She told me the pre-K is up to 3 o'clock. I said, when I called the community school, they said I should know all of this information about the lottery.
So I can't speak for her, but I would be,
I've tried.
maybe she was trying to point you in the right direction of who could answer those questions, because they are, a lot of them are, what department, some are community school, some are guidance, whatever. I can't speak for that. I'd be happy to answer your questions, not at this moment, but I will respond to it, but I just literally put your name in it and it popped up in one of my spam mail. So I apologize, I went to my spam mail.
Maybe the district can also, I'm sorry to interrupt, but fix, because I'm not probably the only parent or a resident that has problems. It's a Gmail, it's a last name, it's not a weird email address where it says Sweetie or something, it has my last name. So I'm not probably the only one, and other parents might be, or residents might be upset and might not be able to come to the meeting and explain
We will
this
look
problem.
into it with our technology department. Rita, I will tell you that, I pride myself on communication. I don't think there's anyone I've ever not responded to, no matter how happy or angry they are with me, and there's a couple of them out there. But I do apologize, and I would never not respond to anyone, but it was in my spam email, but I'd be happy to look at it and get your responses personally from me.
Thank you.
And you also just in the future, and anybody you tell, they can always just email the board president, and I will make sure that I contact them. I do speak to the superintendent pretty much every day. So if I get an email that's sent directly to me in regards to him, I either forward it right to him or to the proper person with him CC'd on it, so he gets every copy. And then I also follow up with a call, make sure that you get that email, so again, apologize.
Thank you.
No problem. Anybody else from the public have any comments on new business?
I get her emails.
Dawn Ebner, I will start out by saying that I know this is not new business. I apologize, I didn't realize the meeting started at 7 today, but I just want to congratulate all the 25-year recipients and I'm sorry that I missed that. But the other thing I would like to request, and I'm sure probably Lisa, request a job description for the technology coach. Is that, and my question with that, is that going to be a certificated staff member and potentially part of the Fairlawn Education Bargaining Unit?
Yes. I'll get you the job description.
Okay. Okay. All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Anybody else?
Yeah, David Trainer, 310 Allison Street. I noticed that the one of the before-after care supervisors is moving on to another position. My first question is, one, will that person be replaced? And two, is there any kind of evaluation after the first year adding the supervisors, how the before and after care programs have improved or changed, or any sort of report on that, or anything I can get in terms of that?
I'll look into it.
The first question?
The first question, yeah, we would replace it.
You are going to replace that person?
Anyone else from the public? Seeing nothing else? Any board comments on new business? Emily?
Save me from that.
Emily?
Okay. So I've had some email correspondence with Ron and Nick about the process for the remainder of the superintendent evaluation and trying to get clarity on exactly how this will work. And I've gotten some clarity, but there's one remaining issue that I haven't been, just because of timing, haven't been able to get a clear answer from. And I thought maybe as a board it would be good because others might have this question as well too. So as a board, we all filled out our individual online evaluations, and the plan is for us to meet as a group to see each other's comments and to then have Ron write, as board president, write a consensus, a majority consensus.
I'll be right with,
Okay, Ron and Elise will be writing the majority part. The one place that I'm still not getting clarity on this question is how will we as a board get that draft of report and have an opportunity to provide any feedback on it before it's finalized and goes to Nick? Not just to be able to see it, but to actually be able to discuss it as a group, to be able to make it a more robust and usable document that all of us as a board feels is.
what we're doing tonight is we're gonna, when everything's over, we go into closed session, it's just gonna be the board, we're gonna review the evaluations. At that point, you have your opportunity to vote, we're gonna go over everything and discuss it, and you're gonna vote, and the majority, what they feel on each thing is what it's gonna be, and that's what the report's gonna be. We're gonna write on the majority. At that point, the next week, in the closed session, we will meet with Nick and go over that, and at that point, you still have a time to still voice your opinion about something if you're not agreeable of it, and then after that point, then we have to write the final report, and I have to have it to the proper authorities by July 1st.
So what you're saying is that report is not gonna be in its final format before we meet with Nick. Nick is gonna see a draft of it, and then we'll still have input. I'm not saying that dissenting views from the majority should be included. What I'm saying is, a draft of the report should be available to the board to see before next season.
Let me read to you how it goes, okay? I'll read it to you right now. So step one is the Board of Education schedules an executive session, which we're doing tonight, board only, to receive and review the compiled results of the CSA evaluation. The board determines the majority opinion. Step two, the Board of Education president or designee, personnel committee chair, VP, etc., writes a summary narrative report of which documents the majority opinion of the board. So the majority opinion that we do tonight, that's what we're gonna write up. The board receives the summary narrative document and agrees that it reflects the majority opinion of the board. So you're gonna get a copy of it before it goes to Nick. If you have an issue, then you will direct it to myself or Elise. Okay? Step four, the Board of Education provides a copy of the summary report to the chief superintendent a few days prior to the scheduled summary conference. Step five, we meet in executive session for the summary conference. The evaluation is discussed, the minority opinion can be voiced. The Board of Education president and the chief operating officer, the superintendent sign and date the document. And then the statutory deadline of the summary conference is July 1st. And then Nick has up to 10 days to attach any data or documents to the evaluation. It doesn't need board approval to do that. And then step six, we go to determine date for goal setting and process begins again.
So to clarify, I'm not concerned about minority opinion. I'm concerned that if we are to agree as a board that the report reflects a majority consensus, one-off conversations between individual board members who might want to see something added or see something reworded is not going to be an optimal way, in my opinion, to get the full board to deliberate on that. What I would like to have is to have one more opportunity for the 9 of us to meet as a group, to look at the draft of the report. Hopefully it will take 5 minutes because it's going to be fine and everybody will agree with it. But if there's some issue that someone wants to bring up, we need a mechanism as a group to be able to.
We're not gonna leave here tonight until we agree onto what's going in that document.
What we agree on tonight or perceive to agree on tonight and then what actually gets written in the document can be 2 different things.
But I can't write anything different than what the board agrees on. Whatever the board agrees on, if this is, this is what we agree that he's doing or not doing, that's what I write it on. I can't, whether I agree with it or not, I cannot change that. So tonight, the board is gonna do the majority, this is what's gonna happen. After that, we're gonna see what I wrote to give to Nick, and then that's it. And then next week, we get together again, somebody can say, well, I kinda changed my mind, or this or that. If you can convince at that time, I spoke to Matt Lee about this again, this is the 3rd day in a row about it, this is how all the boards do it. They don't have multiple meetings, they meet tonight or whatever date, then they meet with the superintendent, and then that's it, that's the step process. I don't know when we would have time to meet again for between tonight and next Thursday, I don't know, and I don't know if we're gonna get together for 5 minutes to change that, but we're not writing anything until tonight we leave here, we have the majority opinion on everything that we go through. That's what I was told, I just read that this comes right from the school boards. This is everything that was even in what you sent to me. Who had their hand up first?
No, I'm done, you answered it.
Wilkin.
We want a lot, some of us want certain things to be done very fast. And, we always get back to the need to slow the horse down. But, we need to keep that in mind for everything. I would like to have a copy, and I don't mean this in any negative way, but I would like to have a copy of the procedure, if I may. Yeah.
You want a copy of this?
Yes.
Yeah, no problem.
I think the board should have a copy. That way we are more cognizant of I mean, I'm new.
You can actually go on school boards and get it also.
Sounds cool.
I know,
It's all right
there's
on
a
school
copy,
board,
you can make a copy.
The process is on the Jersey school boards before you fill out the.
I know it is, I know it is.
This is my comment on your business, my comment. I would like to congratulate the children at Thomas Jefferson Middle School and their parents. I was honored to attend the induction ceremony for the Junior National Honor Society. Our children are achieving at high levels. I am very happy to have witnessed so many wonderful children from so many walks of life, and parents and grandparents, extended families. The superintendent was there. Thank you, Mr. Norcia, for taking time out of your busy schedule. It was such a lovely afternoon to celebrate high achievement, which is something that I have deep in my mind, as I think should be, and I hope it is, everyone's number one concern and priority, student achievement. You know, you know, some of us want to rush certain things. You know, I don't believe this process of this whole evaluation with the superintendent was rushed. But I do sympathize with Emily's comment. But I think we need to move forward. And if we get here at 1 in the morning, we get here at 1 in the morning. You know, but we got to get the job done.
Mike?
A couple things. First of all, I'm glad that TJ has a National Honor Society now. 3 of us were at the scholarship awards with Dr. Lacatina, and then you split up with Mr. Marcia, which was the proper thing to do, which was a good deal. Can I ask Nick for you to look into, and I briefly mentioned it to you, for you to look into the math scores from the middle schools, because I remember that in previous years, the problem with the dip in the math scores, especially in 7th and 8th grade, is the fact that we have many students taking Algebra 1, and some students a class of Algebra 2, which many middle schools don't teach Algebra 2. They get taken out of the scores, the math scores, the general math scores that are reported on the school report card. They get taken out of that because there's a separate test for Algebra 1 and there's a separate test for Algebra 2. So it looks like there's a dip when there's not really a dip. Actually, it's sometimes the opposite. We're actually doing better. Okay, I keep hearing comments about these scores at the middle schools, and our middle schools are doing tremendous, far exceeding the state average, far exceeding everything. And I honestly think, because a couple of years ago, we had an issue where we were actually put in the red for our math scores in 8th grade, and that was because they didn't count, the state that year didn't count Algebra 2. And because it was, again, we were ahead of the curve having these Algebra 2 classes in both our middle schools, and they actually didn't count the Algebra 2 students, which put us in the red, and they refused to change. They acknowledged their mistake, but refused to change it. And the state does that all the time when they acknowledge a problem with that report card. They refuse, they don't change it once it starts. But I honestly think that we keep, as I keep hearing this lull in math scores at the middle schools, and I don't think it's, yeah,
Point of information.
because I want it to be correct. I wanted to be correct. The other thing that was just like fantastic, and I'm sure I apologize to the other elementary schools for not attending their music concerts, but I don't believe that in all my years on the board and my involvement with Forest, with my family, that I never was able to attend. I just never was able to attend a Tanglewood concert, and I attended the Tanglewood concert this year, and oh my God, what an amazing, amazing, amazing event. It's just kudos to the music teachers, kudos to all the teachers being able to keep all those kids somewhat under control for a couple hours. It was a great program, and kudos for the PTA, Actually, most of the PTA board at Forest is changing over because their kids are aging out, and you know, and so I just high praise, very nice program.
Thank you. Welcome.
Especially that
I
great.
apologize, I forgot to say that I was also putting my role as a parent at the Tanglewood concert. We have amazing teachers. We have amazing teachers in this district, volunteering their time. They were there for like 4 or 5 hours, not getting paid a dime, you know? And man, hats off to them for putting such an amazing show. The music teacher at Forest, not because my daughter attends that school, but God bless her. Such passion for music. My daughter is playing violin. You know, it's right now at home because of the love for music that the teachers inspire. You know, there were so many parents, grandparents, the principal, everybody did an amazing job. You know, math and the 3 R's are important, but we need music in our lives. We need music in our lives, and our children are getting a great education in the music in the district. Just point of information. Mike stated that there are errors in some of in this. You stated that, I don't know if
No, I didn't
correct.
think there was errors in this
Okay.
report.
I just want to and the administration can correct me if I'm wrong. If there are any errors in the math scores of our middle schools, please state so tonight. If not, the district did present it, and I mean this respectfully, the district did present a list of recommendations to take us to the next level and improve in our middle schools in math. So I believe that's accurate. I believe the administration provided truthful information going forward, and we have to keep going higher and higher and take our students to the next level.
Louise, I'm Cindy. Sorry, Cindy.
I was in attendance at 2 functions this month. The student, the high school music awards ceremony, which was absolutely amazing. They acknowledged the marching band, the color guard, indoor percussion. They had 2 students actually perform and 2 students actually sing at the presentation, and it was so moving. And 2 of those people that performed at the award ceremony also received scholarships at the scholarship night. One of them is going to a music school. The talent, huh?
Claudia?
No, it was the piano player, the gentleman that played the piano. The talent in this district just amazes me, and I have to echo Mike, one of my favorite events, and I think I have missed one since I've been on the board, has been that high school scholarship awards. It just does my heart so good to see the community being so generous. We even get scholarships from people that don't even live in Fair Lawn. Bruce Watson gave out a scholarship. Jim Marcella gives out a scholarship. I mean, this is just incredible. And it's we're very thankful for it. And the amount of awards from the individual colleges that we don't actually hear about, it's truly amazing. It's just so nice to see the community come together, and it's really, really nice to see what 12 years in our district can do for an individual. And some of these kids are going to Ivy League schools, some of them are going into the trade, And God bless the three that were awarded the Army, Naval, and Air Force full ride scholarships with room and board and for their service that they will have to this country. It was just an amazing night, and I just loved it.
Okay, well, you guys said what I was gonna say.
Sorry.
No, I don't care, I'm only teasing. No, listen, I'm gonna say, I don't care, I'm gonna say it anyway.
right.
Just real quick, you know, getting back to Tanglewood, Mike, yes, my children went to forest school, I always look forward to it. Unfortunately, it stunk sometimes. Well, I used to have my state meeting that night, but I never went to my state meeting, I never missed a Tanglewood, and it's just great. I love, I think you posted, or somebody posted, like, all the chairs on the lawn at 6 o'clock in the morning. It's like Ridgewood with the parade, so that was good. I unfortunately, speaking about the music awards, I kept reminding myself, and that day I said, I know I have some place to go, and as I was going past the high school around 9:30, coming from something else, I'm like, oh, that was the music awards, damn, I missed it. But I was also at the scholarship night, and it is one of the nights I look forward to so much. I unfortunately could not be in two places at once. I wanted to be at the TJ National Junior Honor Society, because we did look for that for years. My son is proud first recipient in the Memorial School National Junior Honor Society, which was started about 6 years ago, so I know how important it is to have that. So again, you know, it just goes back to say is that, you know, I do laugh that sometimes when you hear people, you know, knocking this district with a wide variety of things sometimes, and they just don't really take into how good it is. I know there's a lot of districts in this county, the state, that have a lot of the same thing. But there's the kids, they're the ones that make this district as special it is, besides the teachers and the administration. The hard work that they do, and you know, I brought up Claudia because I know Claudia Elgin. The other night she sang the national anthem, and I think she just blew it away. I mean, she blew it. I know this girl for a long time, and the nice thing is she's going to the Tisch School of Music, which is not an easy school to get into. So it just it makes you really proud, and I know I enjoy it. I go to the masks, I go to the musical, I support as much as I can, and I just enjoy it. And like I said the other night, seeing a lot of these kids that I've watched grow up since they were 5 years old, getting these awards and getting the scholarships, so just, you know, it was awesome. So I'm very proud to be part of this Board of Education, but actually have my children, one more left in the school district. So anybody else? Okay. We have one addendum that we need read and we have to vote on. Go ahead, Joe.
Sure, this is a resolution for student 18187. Whereas earlier tonight, the Fair Lawn Board of Ed held a residency hearing for the above named student, and whereas the student's parent attended the hearing and presented evidence on her child's behalf. Now therefore be resolved, after having heard and considered all the proofs and testimony presented, the board finds that the above referenced student is not domiciled in Fair Lawn and therefore is not legally entitled to continue to attend Fair Lawn schools. And be resolved that the student is hereby disenrolled from the district, that written notice of this decision shall be served upon the parent, and that tuition be assessed for the period of the student's ineligible attendance in the district. So I need a motion and a second on that.
I need a
So
motion.
moved. Second.
Okay, we had Mike and Wilson. Any questions on the motion?
Just want to say,
Yes.
I wasn't here for the hearing because of work, so I'm going to have to abstain.
Okay.
Me
thank
too.
you. Thank you.
Point of information,
Yes.
we're voting yes to disenroll, no, not to disenroll.
Correct.
Okay, can I have a roll call, please?
So Mr. Vanta.
Abstain.
Dr. Cohen.
Abstain.
Mrs. Franco.
Yes.
Ms. Quackenbush.
Yes.
Mr. Rosenberg.
Yes.
Mr. Santana.
Yes.
Mr. Spindell.
Yes.
Mrs. Wallace.
Yes.
Mr. Barbarola.
Yes. Okay, the only other thing is the upcoming meetings. Everybody has a list of what's coming up. Next Thursday, we'll be in a work session here. I will be coming a little late, because I will be at my nephew's graduation. Our monthly board meeting is on the 27th, which my phenomenal vice president will be running because I will be on vacation. And then we have tentatively, tentatively July 18th and July 25th work session and monthly board. We will play that by ear. If there's a possibility we don't have too much business, we might be canceling, but right now they're on schedule.
So, I didn't have a chance to inform the board before we go into closed session, but next week's work session, prior to the work session, we're gonna have a HIB appeal. So we'll be emailing.
It's at 6:30.
That's
You
6:30.
You did get an
So
email
we
from
did get
Wendy?
an email- we did get an email about
Just
that.
didn't update, okay?
Yeah,
Yes.
no, it's on here.
Great,
Okay.
thanks.
I need a motion to go into closed session.
Second.
Okay.
I was gonna say something, but before you make that motion, it's kind of fast.
Give us 5 minutes.
We already went through public comments already, so
That's
that's.
about the meeting,
Okay, we'll have a motion,
after the motion.
You're gonna go back and
We're
open
gonna go
Who
back.
made that motion?
What?
Who made the motion?
Mike.
Mike,
Do you wanna withdraw it for 2 minutes? Well,
Not, just 10 seconds. Just-
no, he has to withdraw it, I can't just do it, he has to withdraw it.
okay, what's your comment?
What's your comment?
I would like to notify the board that there's a likely possibility that I may not attend June 27th monthly board meeting. And I would like to state that for the record, that it's a likely possibility that I may not attend. I will not know for sure until early on. It's my wife's birthday, and we have something planned. If I'm able to move the times that we're doing something, I will be here, but I haven't missed a meeting, and
That's fine.
a public meeting, and I want the
Okay.
board to be duly informed.
That's all you have to do.
Okay, I need a motion.
Make a motion, so moved.
Second.
Okay, all in favor? Aye. I will take a 5-minute recess.